Hi there, my name is Vicki Clark. I am podcasting to you from my cottage in Camelford, Ontario. It is the Labor Day weekend. It's the Sunday of the Labor Day weekend, and I just said I would do a little podcast and show you what's been going on. And first thing is a couple weekends ago, the 17th, I went down to visit Ginny Weathers. Dina McKenzie was visiting from the other side of Ontario, or kind of the other side of Ontario. And originally Jenny Clark was going to be there. Jenny is from Australia, and she was coming in for the Palmetto Tatting Guild, but she ended up having a family emergency. So, so she wasn't able to come, and, totally understandable. So we just figured we'd get together anyways, right? Because they're, just to celebrate the fact that they're going to Palmettos. And we didn't do anything too exciting, but what we did do is we did a tour around and picked up stuff that they ended up being, because they were driving down and they said they were taking stuff down for other people. So they ended up carting down the thread for Carrie Solomon, which, was really tempted to run off with that bag. And then they carried down stuff for Rita. Oh my God, Rita. Rita Richmond, I think. She does the tatting shuttles. And then because we were there, okay, so let me back up. One of the things that I did was I missed the post office the other day. But is I send every year to the Palmetto Tatting Guild. I send a little pattern, and this year I have all these little bottle caps. Now I painted these. They're not Coca-Cola ones. They're just water bottle ones. But the white didn't look nice, so I painted them black. You can paint them any color. And so I did a little pin cushion, bottle cap pin cushion, which is not my brilliant idea. I made these a lot of times over the years, and sometimes I actually make them as ornaments. But so it's just a little tiny pin cushion to go with your kit, and you can put your needles in there. And it was just a very simple ring and chain pattern, and you can find this it's a classic ring and chain pattern. There's nothing fancy about it. You can find it on my blog, victats.blogspot.com. Now, I've kind of fiddled around with putting a second thing on there, second round, and I kind of go back and forth between liking it and not liking it, so that's why I didn't share it. I wasn't sure. And the other thing is originally the way I designed it, the rings are supposed to kind of sit down here, but depending on the shape of the bottle cap, then sometimes it sits a little bit different, but it's a really forgiving pattern. And what I did is I just glued it on with Aleene's tacky glue. Same thing with how I made the bottle cap. I used Aleene's tacky glue to glue in the puff. And then just so you know, I used recycled pashmina fabric, the scarves, the beautiful scarves we were all addicted to a couple of years ago. There's a lot of them around, and my friend has piles and piles of them because her family, that's what they always bring when they visit. Some of them are they're more than she can use. So what I did to make it just that little bit stronger is because it's usually a fairly lightweight wool or acrylic material, is I put fusible webbing on the back. So cool, right? I don't know. I think it's kind of cute. My color sense has kind of gone to shit lately. So if you think the colors are kind of ugly, it's a possibility. Just couldn't manage to quite coordinate anything. So when I sent the kit, they got the fabric, they got the bottle cap, and they got the instructions, because I figured they could do that themselves. Figure out, pick their own cotton thread color. Words, right? And then the other thing, so this is me doing a second sample of it. Like this. So you end up with kind of a brown motif. Nothing fancy about it, again, like I said. But So I took that down for Ginny and Dina to take down for me. rather than mailing it. It was just as easy to do that. And then the other thing I had done is I made myself a little tatting kit, and I took the same thing down for Ginny and Dina, because for them to do too. And so I saw this with all the cross stitchers and the sewers. They've got the little travel jewelry case or sewing case. And so what I did is I ordered these online, Amazon. I ordered mine off of Amazon.ca. I actually got my sister to order them, but I actually got a pack, I think, of 5 or 6. And what it does is it comes with some stuff in, but you gently pull that stuff out. And then I had this material that I had picked up at the Busy Bee Baptist Church. They had a whole bunch of fabric samples, which now I wish I just bought them all. But I didn't know what I was going to do with them, and I try not to look like a hoarder in front of my mother. So, and you know what? I have a little phobia about having too much stuff now, okay, after the fire, because, you have stuff, and then you go from having stuff to having nothing, and then it's like, oh, life is a lot easier when you don't have to manage your stuff all the time. That is a very true story. On the other hand, I never know what I have, because I can't remember what was lost in the fire sometimes and what I actually have. So what I did is I cut this to match in there, and I just tucked that down in there. It's sitting there. And then I made, I got these rusty pins from the old tattered flag near Watertown, New York. And then I put like a little motif here. This is a motif where I cut the picot accidentally. Everybody needs to have a paper clip around. This is a needle minder I actually got in my exchange earlier this summer, and that I did through Sandy Stitches, and she sent me this beautiful needle minder and my crochet hooks, because if you get a good quality needle minder, the magnets are like the rare earth magnets, and they're super strong, and so my crochet hooks stick there, so it's actually pretty good, because when you're traveling you're not worried about losing them. And then the other thing I can do is not, okay, so this is a newer ball, so you kind of have to collapse it a little bit to fit it in, but Elizabeth 20 more or less fits in there. I also took some little, floss, I don't know what these things are called, floss cards or whatever, but I think I should put, because it's kind of Halloween-y theme, I think I should put like little skulls or something on there. Anyways, so that's kind of what I did. I know people do it a little more whatever, but I don't want it too cluttery for my eyes and my brain. So that's what we did. And then, so I gave Ginny and Dina each one with like little little things in there to kind of make up into something. Little accoutrements. Anyways, okay, so we actually, because we didn't have any plans, so we decided that we would, and in all honesty, the kit's not that exciting, because they're like, oh, we thought maybe we'd do the kit. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's pretty straightforward. It's not that exciting, but I just really wanted to do it with the bottle caps, and I love bottle cap pin cushions. Anyways, okay. So the other thing, so we went down to see Carrie Solomon, and she was super kind. Her daughter has Asian pears growing. She lives in the Finger Lakes. They live in the Finger Lakes, and the Finger Lakes are this really neat sheltered biodome or zone or whatever, and so it's very mild down through there. And so she was able to grow she had these little Asian pears, and oh my God, were they good. And you don't realize when you eat the Asian pears that you get, they're mass agriculture, so they're thinner, they're different. This one, like when you ate it, like the rind was thicker, and it was like almost, I don't know, like it added a different flavor. So they were so good, so good. And she also gave gave a little treat for coming to pick stuff up, which are some neat little scissors. And then we went over, and it was very hard for me not to run off with all the thread, just FYI. And we did not open the bag, because that would have went very wrong. And then, although probably, anyways, yes, that would have went very wrong for Carrie, not for me. Anyways, and then we went to Rita. It is Rita Richmond. Is it not Rita Richmond? I don't know why I keep blanking on this. But she had we got to look at the tatting shuttle she was sending down first, so I ended up buying 2, and these are the Dreamlet, or I can't remember the names. I think these are Dreamlets. These are the magnetic shuttles, which I absolutely totally adore. Because what I do is if I know I'm going to need more than one shuttle, then what I do, or more than one shuttle, like to fill up on a round, then what I will do is fill up 2 of these and have the next one ready to rumble. So there's these, and they kind of, that's where also these little needle miter things would be handy too, to hold this in. So I got these ones, and then I can't find it, so it must be at my house. But I also got a moonlit with an autumn scene, which is really pretty, really pretty. Yeah. And then then we went back to the house. I said goodbye, and I headed home. Oh, and Ginny's mom. I don't know why I can't talk today, but Ginny's mom, Bunny, also sent home some wool with me, and she also, and then there's a couple of craft boxes Ginny gave me to see what I could do to bling them out. Anyways, okay, so this is relevant because what I have at home, that I got last year at the Busy Bee Baptist Church. Sometimes my family's like, why are you buying these things? I'm like, I don't know, if I don't use them, I just take them back. And there's these little wood containers, and I realized I've been a little more worried lately about I have my thread, it's at my cottage, like a portion of it. It wasn't all my thread, I did lose a lot, but I had like the main stock or whatever here at the cottage, and they're in opaque containers that are like the scrapbook containers from Winners. And when I'm not here, the curtains are closed and it's dark and everything, but I don't know, I'm kind of getting concerned about exposure to light, if that will make a difference. And so I've been kind of looking around trying to figure out different things, and I'd seen where people had taken old silverware boxes and redid them over. And so I have this old, I think it's a jewelry box, and I did this, and so I was able to put some threads in there. So I'm going to pull together a bunch of threads for my house that I will put there and here at my house. Yes, I know I'm putting things back in wood stuff, and yes, they will burn again, but fingers crossed, no more house fires. I had a little nightmare about it the other day, but it's fine. We're fine. So that, and then this is an old silverware one. And originally I was going to put the thread in here, but when I kind of wiped it out and everything, this dye, this is in really good condition, and the dye on this came off on the cloth, and so I was worried it would come off on my thread. So instead I have put all my tatting shuttles. And yes, I still have a substantial collection of tatting shuttles, because some of them were here and some of them were there. But these are the fancy ones. I don't actually use them. And I did lose about half, because half are at the house. And so so the ones that I don't have anymore were some more rare ones. And like I had a lady shuttle maker ceramic one I had, which was beautiful. I loved it so much. And I had the little bunny ones, those ones, fortunately, because I like to I rotate them around and I have them sitting out in bowls and that stuff so I can see them. Fortunately, those were in a bowl that did not get destroyed, but it was covered in ice, and I was able to chip them out. So they're burnt. They're not burnt, they're singed. I have a couple of singed things. But the container that had all the other ones in that cupboard, gone. Totally and completely gone. And everything was frozen shut, so whatever. Anyways, okay, so now I'm putting those into here. And originally what I was thinking of doing is I have an old spoon rack cupboard, display case that I was redoing over, but it's taking a long time. Getting the time to sit down and paint it is actually harder than I think, and cleaning all the crud out, because it was in the fire too. and set it out in the shed and developed some weird mold on it and all this stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, I thought I would show this to you. But if you go on Pinterest or any of those places, you can see some really way nicer. I like this and I like wood, so I'm not changing this. I like these old things. I like the way it looks, everything like that. But you can go on and see some really awesome bling outs. And this, if I was changing it over and pulling out the velvet, then the velveteen, then I probably would put my thread in this because it's big and I think it fits into both levels. Okay. That is more or less the end of the tatting, but not completely, because I signed up for a tatting exchange, or not a tatting exchange, a cross-stitch exchange for Canada swaps, which was for a swap within Canada, right? And the first time that it happened was, because there's swaps where people just, it's expensive to sell, to send out a country. So sometimes with the, in the States or other countries or England, they'll say English only or whatever, within, the continent kind of thing. But anyways, so this one's a Canada swap one, and you do, the idea was that you do a Canadian designer. So I chose Darlene Dion Designs, and I didn't end up, because I didn't want to get too big, I didn't do the whole design. I took out some of the border stuff. And originally I was going to make it into a drum. Then I was concerned it wasn't really going to show up, the pattern was going to show up very good that way. So I kind of thought, well, I'll make it into a pillow, because I've done it on Ada. And so I'm trying not to show you, but show you. Because I want to do a big reveal. And I figured I'd just go back and forth through the Ada stitches and kind of, instead of using the sewing machine to go around and make a pillow with a fringe, right? And do that with wool. But as I was doing it, I was thinking, oh, you know what? This would make a really good needle roll. And so I ended up making it into a needle roll. And here it is. And I had, because originally I wasn't planning on it, I had little ink marks and there's still one that I couldn't hide. But hopefully with time will become more faded. Oh. Just missed it by like an inch hiding it, but anyways, so I made this needle roll, and like if you see it, the reason why I didn't really want to do it into a drum is I just didn't think that this would show, that my clothesline with the beautiful quilts would show up very well, and not. Like some places, like with the sun, my stitching was not very good. I'm not really thrilled with that. But other than that, I'm thrilled with the whole effect. And I think it looks very beautiful. And I tried to match up the colors from my stash based on kind of what she had. And I had a lot of fun making this. This was super fun. And I realized afterwards I have a wooden spool thing that this probably, if it probably could have fit on it if I put more cushion here, so that I could have done a spool finish is what I realized at the very end. But I really love this. And so what I did was I framed it with the classic tatted clover leaf enclosure. You're wondering what you ever do with that? These things. And I used a cotton thread. So then this thread and this thread is the same. And then I made the attachment here. And basically I did, a classic kind of flower pattern, but this one 4-ring flower pattern, but this one's bigger, and then used a crystal bead as part of the sewing it on, then hid the ends in between here into here. The other thing is I backed this with interfacing. If anybody's gonna have stitches come undone, anyways, so I think it's super cute. And then on the inside, I took Eileen's tacky glue and I put down rickrack in, so it's red and white. I didn't find a maple leaf charm. I just ended up working out. But rickrack to finish it off. So I am super chuffed with this. I think this turned out really, really well. And I put some charms in here. We're not supposed to spend more than $10, so the tatting charm was free, so it doesn't count. And these were little dollar charms. And then look, sorry, hold on, let me roll it up. Oh my God. There was a Canadian ribbon at the Walmart, but it was not going to look the way I wanted it to. So it wasn't going to go over my little container. My little holder. Anyway, so it wasn't going to work out. But, so this is what it's like. Oh, and that's my timer going off. So that's going to be winging its way to the recipient on Tuesday, because I missed the post office because of traffic concerns and all that kind of stupid stuff. But she's also going to get, he or she, my last of my little tatty squares that was also a pattern on my blog, and it was one that I sent down for palmettos a couple years ago as well. Now the bummer about this is I can't find any more of these square sticker charms, but I'm sure I can figure something else out. But I just love this, and the reason I love this one so much is it hung out with some glitter by accident, and the glitter just kind of sticks to it and just gives it a little bit of extra fanciness. So look, so I thought this would be really cute as a bag charm. I do try to sneak in tatting whenever we do an exchange. Okay, so that beeping's going to drive us all nuts, so I've got to get up and get that turned off. Okay, hold on. All right, let me just show you one other thing. I included one or two extra charms in there too. It's not supposed to be more than $10. And I'm supposed to put an explanation in there, so thank God I didn't make the mail office. That's because I didn't do that part yet. But and it's all going in this beautiful little watermelon-y envelope. Anyways, so hopefully, fingers crossed, that goes out on Tuesday. Sometimes the post office is like, no, that does not go out. Okay, so I am going to sign off for now because I'm going to go turn everything off and deal with the beads. And then I will do a second one separately about my cross stitch. Sounds good? Okay, cheers.